At first glance, this is a mess. Thick noodles in red sauce, piled with a hamburger patty and topped with a single, bright yellow square of processed cheese. It ignores almost every established rule of cooking. A professional chef might find the combination confusing or even off-putting, but our biology often tells a different story. Looking at this stack of calories can trigger an immediate physical craving that happens entirely without our consent. This response is exactly what allows certain dishes to stand out in an endless scroll. What looks like a lack of culinary taste is actually a strategic alignment with how the human brain processes visual information. Researchers call this hyperpalatability. These are foods crafted with specific textures and ingredient ratios that allow them to bypass the internal systems that usually tell us when we've had enough to eat. By deconstructing the individual layers on this plate, we can see the specific ways that modern digital culture interacts with our ancient survival instincts. To understand the appeal, we start at the bottom with the foundation of the meal, these thick noodles. Historically, concentrated carbohydrates like this were rare. They represent fast-acting, easily stored energy early humans relied on to survive scarcity. Because these calories were so important for survival, our brains developed a reward system. When consumed, the body releases a spike of dopamine to ensure we remember where to find that energy again. Moving up the plate, the noodles are covered by a textured red sauce and a heavy hamburger patty. This middle section is built around umami, the savory flavor found in cooked meat, roasted red tomatoes, and aged cheese. When we taste umami, it sends a specific signal to the brain. It indicates the presence of protein and amino acids, the basic building blocks the body needs to maintain and repair its own muscles. While the bottom layers provide the energy and the nutrients required for survival, it's the top layer that changes the nature of the dish entirely. Sitting at the top of the stack is a melted slice of processed American cheese. This is a product of industrial chemistry, an emulsion keeping fat and sodium perfectly stable until it melts, creating a mouthfeel that doesn't occur in nature. This chart illustrates the bliss point, a calculated balance of fat, salt, and sugar, maximizing eating pleasure while delaying signals that tell us our stomach is full. When food hits this ratio, it overrides the brain's ability to recognize it has received enough calories. In a natural environment, finding high levels of carbohydrates, protein, fat, and sodium in a single mouthful is nearly impossible. These elements are usually found in isolation. This dish is also visually optimized. That high-contrast combination of bright yellow and deep red is a specific color pairing that has been shown to catch the eye, even during a rapid scroll on a smartphone. By combining all these disparate elements into one bite, the dish triggers a dopamine response, similar to that of addictive substances. It turns a simple meal into a mechanical trap for our biology. To understand why this plate exists, we have to look past the biology of the gut and into the economics of the digital marketplace. Restaurants are no longer just competing for people walking by on the street. They are competing for a fraction of a second of your attention within a social media feed. To stay relevant in that environment, food design has moved away from traditional presentation and toward visual shock. These bizarre mashups are the physical results of an economy that rewards anything that can stop a thumb from scrolling. The sudden craving you feel when seeing a photo like this isn't necessarily a sign of hunger. It's the result of a deliberate attempt to trigger a response in your nervous system. When you look at your phone today, you aren't just looking at dinner. You are seeing how food is being redesigned to compete for the limited attention of our ancient biology.